Hello guys, and in my previous post, I talked about how you could automate the script, the creation of the server, the what's it called, checking the firewall status and those stuff using scripting. The thing is, it's good and all, but the problem of that one is that you have to always enter what's it called the script in order to run it. So when you forget to run it, it's not updated or not deployed in the what's it called in the system. So, and for example, if like the what's it called, the script takes some several inputs, like for example what's it called, the root, the IP address and such. So it causes like it could give a human error, or it could give some problems during the deployment. For example, you add some slight mistake and then the deployment might just crash because the script, you have trusted the person to properly deploy it with the script. So the other issue was everybody can see the what's it called, whatever you're putting in. Like for example, the script, you want to put the SSH for example and those stuff, you have to always say SSH thing, and then you have to say where it's where the SSH folder is, and that might cause like some people to steal that part, the SSH. So in order to reduce that issue, what if we made something, or we use something, a tool that could just deploy it every time and runs the script for you instead of you doing the whole thing. Just a tool that could run the script, or run the way you want your project to be deployed. Like for example, you want to what's it called, check if the server has a Docker or not, if the what's it called, if the system has the firewall enabled and those stuff. You could just allow the tool to just run the script. So like one of the tools that could be used is Travis. And Travis is what's it called, can be mentioned, like can be set to do this, the thing that you want to do. For example, you wanna what's it called, compose the project using Docker, or if it's npm as well, if in Node.js, you could just run it and you could tell Travis in order to deploy the project. So the process flow for this case is like this: when you made some changes in your local repository and then push into a remote Git repository like GitHub, the repository will notify Travis, and then Travis will clone the latest project, latest latest commit, and then build the project from that latest commit. And then at that moment of time, it will, when it finished the build and there is no problems with it, it will push a Docker registry. In this case, it's in my Docker hub, and it will push the images in this one. Oh, it's taking long. So here, yes, for example, the Lotus Blocks Front, Nginx, or Blocks API, it will push the images here. Then what's next is it will run the script that I was using, and that script itself will update the server or anything. This script will be pushed, like for example, it will be copy pasted, like it's a shell script, right? So the script will be pushed to the server, and that server, and then the Travis will execute that script. The moment the script is executed, it will pull the project, and if there requires a Docker register, like a Docker software in the server, then it will update that one as well. Um, so for example, this is the website for Travis. So for example, it checks if the build worked or not. So if there's some mistakes happening, it will tell you that I couldn't deploy it because there's some problems within your what's it called script, or within your deployment phase, so, or in your project. So basically it prevents anything to happen in your server if you configure properly. right? It will check, it will compile everything, and then if it checks that everything is working, it will push to the remote server. So here the process is showing it's cloning the project there from the repository, and then later on it does a script that I mentioned within the Travis file, and then it will deploy the project using the script that I used beforehand, last video. The good part about it, I had another issue, whereby my front end and the back end, like the Lotus block, the front end and the back end were separated, because for reason being I was using Netlify, and the Netlify, I had to use Netlify for this GitHub repo, and then for the backend for the DigitalOcean server for this repo. I didn't want to combine them together again, that might cause some issues, I'm not sure. So I say, let's just leave it like this and then just make it work. So what you could do in Travis is you could specify for each repository, because it recognizes every repository in your GitHub or any repository that you mentioned. So for example, this front end has a different Travis file, and you could mention what it's doing. For this case, I'm saying only update the front end or the client side when it has been pushed, and the back end, for example, in this case it will update the Nginx if there is any need of changes, the MongoDB if there requires any changes, and the server itself, like the backend data itself. Yeah, like let's give an example. For example, like now we have a change in my front end repository in the view post. I was trying to fix something, but I think I have yet to figure out. So I'll say, like, for example, view post, what's it called, color change fix, git push. So I pushed it, and my GitHub local GitHub repository in this one, whereby I'm pushing my latest commits, and here Travis will be notified, and Travis will clone the project. So you just have to refresh it, and as you notice, it's showing a yellow sign. That means that it has started, and it's running for 9 seconds, 10 seconds. So it's running the script for us, the script I put in Travis. The best part about it is, like, you don't have to learn a new language in order to figure out the script, but in order to understand how to do the Travis. But you could just use your bash scripts, you could just use your bash scripts in YAML format, and it will accept it, and it will do the stuff that you require. For example, SCP is a bash script thing, or like you could just say Docker Compose, which is like similar to your shell, or like you could just say Docker Compose up, Docker Compose up D, right? It will do the stuff for you. F Docker Compose production YAML, and then up D. So it will do the stuff for you, right? So it does the same thing in your shell, or in your Linux prompt, where you could do the same thing as in YAML file. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. To revise how the process flow goes, the moment you change something, you push in the repository, and then the repository will notify Travis, and the Travis will clone the project, and then the project will be built, and if it succeeds, it will put in the registry, for this case in this Docker registry. So then later on it will run the script, and the script will do the stuff that I wanted to be doing. Like you could mention in the what's it called here what they should do. So basically, in this case, checking if Docker is existing on those stuff. All right. Thank you very much.